Trading in the trenches. Today is September 15th. Let's dive into this week's stock analysis. All right, so today is Monday. There's no heavy news on the books. Tuesday, we got core retail sales and retail sales. All right. Change in the total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. And retail sales is change in the total value of sales at the retail level. That means including automobiles. So that's going to be Tuesday. Wednesday, we got the federal funds rate. This is interesting. Interest rate at which depository institutions lend balances held at the Federal Reserve to other depository institutions overnight. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens with the federal funds rate. We got economic projections. All right. This report includes the FOMC's projection for inflation and economic growth over the next 2 years. So that's that. They're going to make a statement, and there's a press conference. So Wednesday, the 17th, going to have some heavy news. Thursday, we got unemployment claims. This is an orange folder, but let's see what it is. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. Level of diffusion index based on survey manufacturers. Essentially, there's going to be some volatility depending on what that thing is. And Friday, no news. So just something to be aware of as you navigate the markets. All right, these are my stocks on my watch list. Let's burn through these. All right. So ALAB blasted up through the 3 ATR last week and is up here hanging around 5 ATR. On the daily, it's at 3 ATR. So this thing is pretty extended. At most, there's going to be an intraday setup on this name. Here we go, 45-minute chart. So price is currently pre-market, this orange line right in my buy zone. We got some squeezes. So that's a possible thing right there. Let's see BLBD. This was one I had already traded previously. Let's remove that drawing. So the monthly is pretty close, but it's got some space to run. The weekly has a few dollars, and the daily has a few dollars. This daily setup looks really nice. Got some squeezes. Nice little bull flag here. Let me draw this up for y'all, just in case when I say a nice looking setup, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about this pattern right here, this cute little bullish flag. That's my sweet spot. That's what I love to trade. I find bull flags and I trade them. All right, so this one's got a nice setup on the daily, and I'm sure as you go down into lower time frames, same thing, right? Squeeze in. This one, the price is right under the point of control, right at the 21 EMA. Go down even further, and price is at the 34. So I really like this setup. BLBD. The one thing I will mention about BLBD is their options are a little bit spready, so I'm not a huge fan. But you can still trade it with success. This is Google. Google's monthly is up here, pretty extended. The weekly is very extended, right? The past 2 weeks, this thing popped up. And I'm going to say, yep, the daily's up here as well. So probably just like ALAB, there'll be some intraday setups. Yeah, 45-minute chart. So the 45-minute chart on both of them has a setup. All right, let's go to FTAI. All right. Typically, September is a red month, but this year things have been a little bit different. The markets have been pushing. All right, so this thing has a 78-minute setup. When I say a setup, again, it means that the chart is trending higher, right, from the bottom left to the top right. Price is not super extended. And we have squeezes down here, red or orange dots. All right, BMNR. So this thing is kind of like MSTR. The owner is just buying a bunch of Ethereum, and essentially that's what caused this huge spike up here, where the stock ran, I don't even know, maybe 1,000%, 3,000% in 6 days. So that was that. It looks like this thing's about to form a double bottom. For those of you that don't know, a double bottom is just a W, essentially. And it will be a valid double bottom once the price crosses this high, 71.74. When price gets over this, the double bottom is in play, and you can expect this thing to pop up, maybe up towards $100. So this is the daily chart. We got one orange dot here, so this thing is starting to set up. This is IBIT, which essentially is a Bitcoin ETF. We got 2 dots. Price is pumping, right? If you're watching the crypto markets, you'll know that this thing is following them. So no surprise there. APLD, this thing I've been trading for the last month or so. It's a beauty. So right here, it's pretty extended up at 3 ATR. Probably be able to find an intraday setup. Let me see, maybe 30-minute chart, 15, no, 10, no, 5. All right, it's got a 5-minute squeeze, but as you can see, pre-market price is already moving higher, so that will probably be not a good trade idea. All right, we got Hood now. Hood's been pumping. All right, up over 3 ATR. On the monthly, at the weekly, it's got some space. Got about $15 that it can move higher. And on the daily, this one's looking good, right? We've got our squeezes down here. Prices coming right back here, coming back down. I'd like to pick it up under 110, between 106 and 110, 109. That would be my ideal entry. If that comes down, let me put an alert here at 109, 108, 96. That's fine. That'd be a nice setup. All right, let's go to MasterCard. So MasterCard on the monthlies coming down. MasterCard is a super strong name. They have over 200 blockchain patents. They are not going anywhere. This is a stock that's worth buying and investing into the stock, in my opinion. All right, so price is currently right here at top of the 8 EMA. If price comes down around 562, I'd love to pick this up. We got our squeezes. Price is in the buy zone in between 567 and 557. So we got a $10 range here. These premiums, the premiums on these options is expensive, so MA is not for everyone. Oh wait, that was the weekly I was looking at. I didn't even look at the daily. So here's the daily. On the daily, price is already in the buy zone, so this is actually a better setup if you would want it. I'm not too fond of how this price chart is looking. I think I'd rather play the weekly. Just seems more stable. I'd rather catch it down here at 561, 562 than pick it up here at 580s. Also, this red line coming across is the point of control, which means this is where most of the buyers and sellers are positioned. So for me, I'd rather pick it up down here and then see if it can run higher. You know, tight stop loss, maybe stop out under 560 or something like that. All right, Meta. Let's see, Meta on the monthly. It's up there. Weekly, it's got some space, right? The daily here. See, this one looks for me, more stable than the daily on MasterCard did. Point of control is down here at $700, however, so something to be mindful of. But I do like this. We got squeezes. Price is right not too far from the buy zone. Buy zone will be about 752 to 746. So I'm gonna set an alert here around 748. I'd love to pick up Meta. Just like MasterCard, Meta is pricey premiums. So it's just something to be aware of. You might be better off if you don't want to spend the capital doing a spread where maybe your upside and downside potential is capped, but you don't have to spend top dollar to get involved. Nvidia here, we got some squeezes. Price is currently right on top of the buy zone at 175.22. The bottom of the buy zone is 173, about 65. So I'm actually going to set an alert here at 173.65. If Nvidia can pull down to 34 EMA, I'd love to pick this up. NBIX. All right, this is the monthly. The monthly is actually squeezing, which is nice. That means this thing is gearing up for a very, very big move. Let's see, the weekly, daily. Is there an intraday setup? Oh yeah, here it is. So this is the one I'm interested in. Right, we just had a good pullback here. Moving averages became positive. We made a new high up here at 145.79, and then price fell right back and is consolidating here. So ideally, I'd pick this up between 141 and 139. I'm gonna set an alert here about 140 and 1 cent. NBIX, PLTR. All right. So the monthly's moving, weekly's moving, daily's moving. I got some old drawings. Let me get rid of that. Moving averages are crossing into the positive level, right? They're all becoming positively stacked. The 8 on top of the 21, on top of the 34. We got 2 squeezes, so this is nice. If PLTR can pull back to about 161, that'd be awesome for the daily. There might not be any intraday setups unless we go down to a really low time frame. Yeah. So this is about the lowest I'll go. This will give you a day trade, 5-minute chart. We got squeezes. Ideally picking it up here around 170 and 40 cents. And, just working its way higher. All right, Reddit. Let's see, Reddit has been on a tear. I got some old drawings here. Let's get rid of this. Let's see the weekly. Right, not too far from the top, about $10. The daily, so this thing was squeezing and it just fired long, right? Dots went from orange and red to green. So this thing is potentially gonna start ripping. The energy has to be released. So we'll see which way it goes. It's a little 15-minute chart setup, but the moving averages are stacked negatively. So I'll skip on Reddit. TBBK. I have not even heard of this stock ever. But it's on my watch list for this week. That means it met the qualifications. Here it is. So we got our bull flag pattern. Let me show you guys again. All right, that's my timer. Time's almost up. Let me take off this magnet. All right. Bing, just like before, right? Bull flag. So I'm gonna check out TBBK for a setup, and maybe Meta. So I've got my Fibonacci retracement tool. I'm going to do from the high to the next swing low, which will be that one. And then I got my levels here. I got a lot of stuff happening here. Essentially, this is how I like to look at this chart. So if price comes between 75.49 and 74.27, I'm a buyer. For simplicity, right here, 74.50, I'll set my alert. And let's check out some options. TBBK. Oh, Lord. What's happening? So they don't have weeklies, they have monthlies. So I'm going to go to October. Oh, these spreads are ugly. Not trading TBBK. All right, I think Meta had a nice little setup here. Was it on the daily? Yeah. All right, let's look at some options for Meta. These are going to be expensive, but I love me a good Meta. So if you have the capital, these 760s, these would be great. If you don't have the capital, you could do a spread, vertical spread. All right, this is essentially, you would want to catch these at least at 250 or cheaper. It's a 5 wide spread, risking 1 to make 1. I'll take that. Let me see a 10 wide. Oh, this is even better. So 760 to 770 at 480 premium. So you're risking about 1 to make 1, but a little bit better odds. And you'd want to, well, I would want to target a move over 774. So 774 will be my initial target, and then 816 or about 800, 795, where the 3 ATR is. I would stop out if Meta starts closing down here underneath 745. All right. So let me turn off this magnet. If Meta starts closing down here, I will exit the position, and I'd look to sell on a rally up to 774. This first resistance area, 795, and then 816. All right, guys, I hope this helps.